And let's move to 4.6. Is the perform integrated change control. In this process, it is the process of reviewing all change requests. Okay. Approving changes and managing changes to deliverables, organizational process assets, project documents, and the project management plan, and communicating their disposition. Okay. So the change control could affect a lot. Uh, Regarding the perform integrated change control is the process of reviewing all the change requests, approving changes, and managing changes to the deliverable projects, documents, and the project management plan, and communicating the decisions. So in this process, the process can review all requests for change to the project documents, okay, or the project management plan, and determines the resolution of the change request. Okay, once you have the change request, you have to make a decision what you have to do about it. Okay? The key benefit of this process is that it allows for documented changes within the project to be considered in an integrated manner while addressing overall project risk. Okay, once you have to make a change, you have to consider the total risk to the project. And the risk is often aroused from changes made without consideration of the overall project objectives or plan. So if you do not pay attention to the impacts of risk of the change to the project, it could cause severe damage. Okay. So in this process, it is performed throughout the project because it's risky and risk involved. So the important item is to change control tool. The change control tools in this context does not mean the change control board alone, but also the tools used. Let's say if a change request is approved, if the change is rejected, it gets recorded in the project document called the change log. Okay? So any modification, or you can say the change in the project management, will be recorded or documented in the log. If a request is approved by managers and sponsors, that means that there will have to be changes in the project management plan. Okay, so we'll go back to the planning process. But how can you make sure that everybody working on the project or stakeholders monitoring the project use the new and improved version of the project management plan? Okay, and do not use one of the older obsolete version instead. Okay, so once you have made change, you have to make sure that everyone is on track to follow the new and improved version of the project. To do that, it is where the configuration management plan comes in. The details of these activities are contained in the PM book guide. Okay, so because there are too many details that I have to go through, we recommend you to go through the PM book guide and to read the details of that. Moreover, the other tools used are for managing and change requests and the resulting decisions, including actions items to implementation of the change. Okay, so these tools have to be accessible to all those who are responsible for implementing those changes. Okay. So let's talk about the outputs. Okay. In the 4.6.3.1 is the outputs, the first one of the outputs. Okay. It is the approved change request. Okay, that is very important items in the outputs. So the process can either approve or reject change requests. If they are rejected, they go into the change log. Okay. You can see the paragraph 4.6.3.3 on the project documents updates. Okay. If they are accepted, and only if they are accepted, they are implemented. Okay. They are also put into the change log, and this can be used to track their implementation. Okay. So once the change request is approved, you have to do it. If it's rejected, you have to record it, put it in the log. Okay. And which, to be more specific, is to put it in the project documents updates. Okay. And then let's move on to the next one. It's the 4.6.3.2, the project management plan updates. Okay. So the approved change requests may change one or more of the project baselines. For example, the scope, the cost, the schedule, or any other components of the project management plan. So often have to put in the updates. And in updates, the project documents may be changed by this process. But the one that is always affected is the change log, which documents both those changes which were accepted in order to track their implementation and those which were rejected to record the reasons for the rejection. So that was about the perform integrated change control. So the core concept here is that every change has to be put in the log and put in the updates. And once the change is approved, you have to do it.